Temperament trait number 3, sensory sensitivity or low sensory threshold. I'm McCall Gordon, and I specialize in the intersection between children's temperament and sleep issues. Um, Sensory sensitivity, I could talk for an hour on because really it's really at the heart of a lot of the causes of sleep problems, not necessarily in the reactions to the sleep problems. Um, Sensory sensitivity, or just really kind of, I call it having a thin skin, causes children to really just have a lot more difficulty falling asleep and staying asleep. Think Princess and the Pea, right? It just takes less to wake them up and prevent them from going to sleep. Sensory sensitivity actually does have a pretty decent size upside as well. I mean, if you think about anyone who's taking in more information, they have a thinner barrier to the outside world. They're detecting more, they're perceiving more, they're taking more in. That's going to really give them a lot of information. These kids do tend to be fairly bright because they're taking in a lot of information and they're eager to do so. Is there a big downside? Yeah, 100%. Because often they don't know what to do with all that input. And that's when you get these big epic meltdowns. And these are like sensory meltdowns. They're not tantrums. They're just full scale, hysterical, nonstop, out of controlness. But with small children, we can't ask them what's bothering them, right? So we don't know. We don't always know. Different kinds of motion, different too many modalities at once can throw some kids off. We do things at bedtime that we think we're supposed to be doing, like a bath or books, and those two things can absolutely work against us for some kids. So understanding what sensory processing is, and then starting to observe what's hard for your child, what's easy, what wakes my child up, what helps them calm down. And then reading, because honestly, sensory sensitivities and sensory processing are not totally intuitive. They're not things that you would think of. But if your child needed to be bounced on a yoga ball instead of a rocking chair, that's a sensory thing. If they hated the swaddle, if they hated the car seat, there's lots of things that people just think are normal for some babies, but are actually indicators of sensitivity from a sensory perspective. So I will talk a little bit more about it. This is really in the field of occupational therapy. More what I talk about is just kinds of things to start understanding have to do with sensory processing. And when we might be overstimulating our child unknowingly, or doing things, like I said, like a bath that wakes them up. We don't want to do that at bedtime. So stay tuned here for more. I'm going to continue in my series on temperament traits and sleep. Leave me a comment. I will respond as quickly as possible, and then follow me here for more.